Q&A. Here we go. Butter 2, what it do? Oh, we have new people. They don't know what to do. It's okay. It's okay. So when I say Butter 2, what it do, you're supposed to give us some kind of love and energy, okay? It could be a clap, it could be a scream, but not too loud. Don't scare the babies. You can give a woo! You could give a yeah, okay? So I'm gonna do it one more time. Butter 2, what it do? Oh, that was real good. That was really, really, really good. Okay, so I am Tamara Payton, your media host for Butter 2, Butter 2022. So many twos, oh my goodness. So we are so happy to have another guest artist with us, and then we have another special treat. I know you see this beautiful woman right here. She is going to be the interviewer for the next 2 artist talks. So I want to introduce you to her, and then I'm gonna let them go into their piece. So Patricia Andrews Keenan is the founder and CEO of Pigment International. Is a Black woman. Okay, go ahead. Insert love anywhere. Anywhere you feel the spirit, just let it out. Okay, so let me just start over. Patricia Andrews Keenan is the founder and CEO of Pigment International. She's a Black woman, which is a Black woman founded and led multimedia platform that reports on the art, people, issues, trends, and the events shaping the Black art world. We travel the world reporting on Black artists, collectors, and curators that move the Black art ecosystem. Are we in for a treat or what? Oh, there, love, insert love there. Are we in for a treat or what?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Okay, please, give a warm welcome to Patricia Andrews Keenan and our artist of the hour, Edo.
Thank you, Tamara.
Big hearts.
So how's everybody doing? Thank you for being here. You guys look beautiful. This is our second year, it's the second Butter, and we were here last year as well. And so we really appreciate Alan and Molly for giving us this platform. So we're just really excited to be here. We are also the publishers of Pigment Magazine. This magazine is available in the Butter store, so if you haven't seen it, we hope you get it. This is our 3rd issue of Pigment, and we have won awards for our cover art. We're waiting to find out now if we will win for this one. So we're very happy to be here. And I would ask if you're on Instagram, you can find us at Pigment INTL, so please look for us there. I see a lot of friends and folks that we've met over the last couple of years. There's my guy at Mahogany Gallery, Scott Perry from Racine. There's a ton of people that have traveled here from the Midwest to be here, so we are very proud to be here as well. So, this young man, we started Pigment in 2018 and he was there when we founded it. He literally held his first official art exhibition with us in Miami during Art Basel in 2018. And he has been a mainstay with us, and he is amazing. His work is straight back. If you've not read about him, please do, but his work is on that wall. So and we have just a little bit of time, so I'm gonna pose 2 questions to Edo, and then I'm gonna let Edo do what he does. The one thing I love about him, he is a humanist. He cares about people, he loves people. He works on 2 things. He works on his art and he works on himself. So Edo, what I'm gonna ask you to tell the group about is your grand plan for world domination, but also I want him to tell you about how Edo works on himself, so when that plan comes to fruition, he is ready for it. So, it's on you.
Well, first of all, thank you for that. Can we give a round of applause for that? That was beautiful. Yo, how is everybody feeling? What's the energy right now? Is everybody good? Thumbs up if you're good. Thumbs up if you're good. All right, bet. So yeah, like she said, I'm an artist, Edo. My government is Eddie Santana White, if you want to be fancy about it. I'm from Southside Chicago. Those two paintings on the back wall are my paintings that I brought down here. And the question, to answer the question, so my brand is called Infinite Inception. And if you look at my work, you can actually see infinite meaning forever. One of my favorite movies is Inception, and I love the idea of the dream within a dream within a dream aspect. And if you look at my work, you can see it's like art within art within art within art. And to be honest, I wanted my work to be faceless, like Nike. I feel like nobody really knows who owns Nike, and that's the whole point. Nobody knows who really owns McDonald's, that's the whole point. I plan on bleeding out into the world and seeing my work everywhere within products, within merchandise, just all over. And how I plan to do that is starting with the Midwest. Like I said, I'm from Southside Chicago, so starting with the Midwest, but then bleeding out to LA and then overseas and things like that. I've been painting since October of 2017. I found my style in June of 2015. And what I do is I take words, colors, objects, phrases, and I collage them together to tell a specific story. And my story is a bit interesting. So when I was a young lad, maybe as tall as this butter melted table, which is beautiful, very quiet kid, painfully shy. And that was before foster care. So I was in a foster care system for 2 years. Within those 2 years, I was in 8 different foster homes. 7 of those homes, I was mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically taken advantage of. And art was nowhere near. It was more of a subconscious thing for me. I didn't find art until 19 years old because in grammar school and even high school, I cared too much about what the outside world thought about me. And it just frightened me. So I kind of moved and lived into what people said I should be. But when I had the freedom to think my own thought, art just kind of fell into my lap. And that's why I'm here now, you know, expressing this to you guys. If I can tap into one of the paintings real quick, and I'll speak about one of them? Okay, cool. So the painting that's not for sale, which everybody loves, it's kind of breaking my heart. Everybody loves it so much, but it's like a part of my personal collection. It's the painting with the blue backdrop. And that's actually my auntie. So it's titled EMR, which was her initials, Eddie Mae Ray, but it also stands for Energy Must Rise. So I was born on her birthday, named after her. I'm Eddie Santana White, Eddie Mae Ray. And when I was a kid, my mom would be strung out, I would always be with her. And we spent every birthday together up until she transitioned in 2019. She was wheelchair bound when she was physically here. And she had very bad asthma, which is why I put an actual inhaler in her painting. And she didn't travel much while she was physically here. So I wanted to create a painting of her life. So there's over 180 objects in that painting of her actual life. What I learned about her, but then also what my mom told me about them as far as like how they grew up. And that's what I'm here to do. I feel my purpose here is to bring joy, inspire, and heal people through my work. You know, Chicago can be very gray. I don't know if you guys have ever visited or been there, but it's an interesting city. So I wanted to create paintings that offset the grayness of Chicago, and I wanted it to be very light and bright and inviting, and I also wanted it to meet the being where they was, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally. So I hope I answered your question. I feel like I kind of veered off a little bit.
No, absolutely. I want you to tell the group too how you first came across this as a way to be when you were in junior college, and he was studying graphic design. Literally, his mom said, "You need to figure out what you're going to do with your life." So I want him to tell you that story about how art found him and how he was when his teacher one day in his classroom.
Yeah, so I didn't apply to college. I'm all self-taught. Everything that I do is pretty much me learning and doing, which I'm actually appreciative of. I feel if I went to a university, I would have had to live in the construct or the box that they put you in. And the fact that I'm a free thinker and I'm an optimist at that, I'm able to do what I want to do, how I think about it. Pure alchemist, pure magic. That's just, I'm grateful for that. But at 19 years old, literally a year after high school, I was feeling away because all my friends was away, and I felt the fear of missing out. I never had the actual college experience. I didn't even apply to college because the fear of being rejected at that point in my life was so severe that I didn't even try. I never even tried to give it real energy. So I was wallowing around the house for a little minute, and my OG was like, hey, listen, I know you may be hurt. I know this might be a painful thing you're going through, but I gotta be honest, I cannot allow you to be here and do nothing. I get it. Your world is falling apart in your mind, because it's all mental. It's literally all mental. So your world is falling apart to you, but I need to let you know that you're special, and you have to find something to do here, but I cannot allow you to walk up and down the stairs every day with nothing to do, because you can't stay here and do nothing. So you can either get a job or Kennedy King is up the street, but you have to do something. And I was like, I don't like how you talking to me. I didn't like the energy, but I needed to hear that. That was a spark for me. And I ended up going to Kennedy King for literally like 2 semesters. And I took a visual communication, fancy way of saying graphic design. And I was being taught typography, which is shapes and words and how to make them look interesting, whatever it is. And one day, because I'm a quick learner, so one day I was like doing it, and my professor had allowed us to listen to music in our headphones as we create. So I was doing it and creating, and literally maybe 15, 20 minutes had passed and class had ended. I was still there, creating, like literally taking a thought and making it a physical thing. That is legit magic. Every artist in here, every creator in here, to take an idea up here and make it a physical thing that lives in this realm, that is next level magic, like next level. And to me, art has no rules. There's this open space where you get to create and build and be who you want to be, express yourself. And I have never felt that in my life still. Art is the only thing that gives me that. Because I'm a person of structure, I'm a person of discipline. I live in discipline, I thrive in it, in structure. But with art, there is no rules to it. I get to say what I want to say, be who I want to be without somebody telling me I have to be a certain way for them. I get to be who I want to be. I made this entire outfit because that's what I wanted to do. You get what I'm saying? So, I thought I veered off. Am I answering this question?
Absolutely.
Okay. I get into my bag a little bit, my bad, y'all. Like I get into that type of energy. So, oh yeah, so he tapped my shoulder. He was like, Mr. White. I was like, what's up? He was like, class is over. And I was like, oh, it is over. But 19 years old, the best decision I ever made was choosing that art was going to be what I did for the rest of my life. That was literally the decision that I made. It was either do that or fall to the wayside and do nothing. So I left Kennedy King literally after I kind of got a little good at it and taught myself everything else and started a clothing line. Because I'm also an entrepreneur. I own a custom apparel printing shop back home in Chicago. I have a store on the south side of Chicago in Bronzeville as well. So it kind of showed me that if I applied my mind, I can do anything. Like even those paintings back there, I just wanted to paint one day because I wanted to be taken serious as an artist. And I just painted. I had one canvas and I painted every day that October, and then something came out of that. So, yeah.
Wonderful. The other thing I want you to know about Edo believes in working on himself. And one of the things that's important for me is, we see a lot of contemporary art here, but art comes from a place. There's a linkage and a tie throughout history. So if you talk to these artists, you can probably track back to artists 40, 50 years ago that influenced them. And that's one of the things he's trying to do. And one of the things I've learned about some of our early artists is many of them suffered from mental health challenges. Racism in the world stopped their growth or whatever. And what Edo has decided to do is also work on himself. So I wanted him to tell you a little bit about he told you a little bit about his early journey, but currently right now, he is working on himself. He is in therapy, so when that time comes, when he takes over, he'll be ready for it. So I want him to tell you a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, I think that before I can heal the world or help the world, I have to help myself. Like, I can't love anybody if I don't love me, you know, and for a very long time, I was not in that space. I was emptying myself and giving myself to everything else but myself. So when I got to a place of realizing that, I had to check myself. So I've been in therapy for like a year now, every Thursday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I have a morning routine where I wake up, I light an incense no matter where I'm at. I have a grateful journal that I write down 10 things I'm grateful for. And I make a couple of those things very practical, like sight and touch and feel, because we do take those things for granted. Unfortunately, we do. But I also write in my journal about how I want to be of service to the world, you know, things I want to accomplish throughout, you know, the day-to-day of how I live here. And I talk to the universe about guiding me throughout the day and keeping love in my heart, because I feel everything, and some people's energy isn't as welcoming as it probably should be, which is not personal. I understand nothing's ever personal. It's what they've been through in their life experiences, and some people project. So you gotta take care of yourself and like protect your light. So I've been making sure that I'm taking care of myself before I can like be out into the world, into, you know, into all of this. Like, I'm looking at all of you guys' faces, but I also feel all of you guys' energy and your spirit. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to witness. You know, I hope we're all working on ourselves, taking the day-to-day to really figure things out for ourselves, because the better we are as beings, we're better to the world. So, yeah.
Thank you. He also spends a lot of time working with kids in the arts. He works for the Walgreens Expressions program, which is our art focus program. He was just in one of our local suburbs talking to kids, so that's part of who he is. So I am very proud to say that he decided to join us and be a part of us.
Yeah, I think it's very important, especially with how I grew up. Nobody listens to the youth like that. And they're actually trying to say things or speak to you. It might be in a very, you know, their own way, but they feel that nobody listens, you know? And I am working toward being what I felt I needed when I was a young lad. You know, I'm an African-American male. You know, I get profiled every day, especially when I have my locks. But to show an inner city kid, the kids that live in Chicago, some of those kids cannot walk outside their 4-block radius. They've never even seen downtown. They don't even understand. I'm talking about gangbangers that want to sing or want to dance or want to do art. And there is nobody that's going to talk to them, that's sharing with them, that's, yo, you can reach out and touch me. I'm not far removed from that. Like, I understand that it takes us to go get them. We gotta help them, you know. I get a little emotional about it because I feel like, man, there's so many kids every single day that's trying to find their way and there's nobody there to help them, you know. So I'm making sure that I do what I can to be there and support and show them like, yo, you can really do what you wanna do. I manifested what's happening right now. I manifested all of this, literally, because I had an idea, I had a thought, and I planned it, and I worked toward it, and now I'm here talking to you guys about the love of my life, which is creating. And kids create every single day. Every day. So it's really important to me that we help them, you know, we show them the way as much as we possibly can. So.
We have time for a couple of questions from the audience, or what do you think? One or two? Is anybody? Any questions. And certainly you can speak to him after. He loves it.
There we go.
Oh, thank you.
All right. I'm sorry about that. Brother
What's up,
Adam.
King?
Yeah, what's up, Brother Adam? Man, this is a beautiful story about your life journey. Can you speak a little bit about the other piece? You mentioned that that's in the show. You spoke about the other, but the first one, can you speak to the second one?
Yeah, so the second painting that is for sale is titled The Essence of Beauty. And how I was inspired by that painting was like I said, I had locks for 13 years and they was like down to here. I cut them 4 months ago, and when I was cutting them, it was I realized how emotionally that was for me. It was a very spiritual thing. And I felt very vulnerable. And I had this weird question, which I never think is, will people still like how I look? Like, I cared so much about how people saw me, and it was frightening for me, but it also liberated me, because it's like, now you have to see me. Like, this is my face, this is my soul, this is my energy. So the question was, why do I care about what the outside world thinks about me? What is that? Am I vain? Like, what is that energy that steady pulls on me about, will they like me if I don't have locks? Because my locks became its own thing. But I realized I hid behind them. I literally hid behind my locks. So the essence of beauty is speaking on the essence of beauty. Beauty isn't a physical thing to me. It's a spiritual thing. It's beyond body. It's beyond surface. We're gonna get old one day, this stuff is gonna droop, or it's gonna do what it's gonna do, and all we'll have is what's within us. And I wanted to speak on that with this painting. Like, we are beautiful beyond what the world says. We should not allow the outside world to dictate how we feel about ourselves. Like, we are beautiful, we are light, we are love, we are powerful. And I was just like tired of feeling like that, that energy on me, so I had to create a painting that spoke to understanding that I am what I say I am, and it shouldn't matter what the outside world thinks about that. So the essence of beauty is that story, and I told it through Cleopatra, because I just thought that was pretty dope. And I also research every person that I do, so even in that piece, there's a lot of history about Cleopatra. I wanted it to be like a very interactive piece, so not only the story of Cleopatra, but just also knowing that you are powerful beyond what somebody thinks about you. Thank you for that question, by the
That was a
way.
great question. If a lot of people are asking where you're painting, where they are.
So,
Wait, yeah.
yeah, if you get up, you walk to the back, and you make a left, and then make a right. It's literally the two paintings that's closest to the wall. One has like a blue backdrop, and one has like this peach mimosa backdrop.
They're right next to the info about butter, the
Yeah,
big
literally
white
like
poster.
straight to the back.
Does anyone else have a question before we go?
How you doing? Do you consider your pearl part of your art, even when you don't have no canvas? Do you put your art? Because we all do a pearl, but to us it's a part of the art. Do you consider your pearl that you do in Chicago? You take your like that and put it on your shirt. Right?
Do I consider
Your shirts, whatever you sell in Chicago at the store, do you take your artwork ever and put it on your clothes?
Oh, 1,000%. Because, the question is, do I take my work and put it on physical clothing? Yes, I watched the Hebrew Bramley interview yesterday, and he just spoke about how a lot of artists, they're very talented, but they don't understand the business aspect of actually making and creating money within what they do. So of course, I can create a painting like that that's $10,000, but then I can also create something that's affordable for people and also consistently comes within what I do. You know, and $20, $25, $30 for a shirt or for a print every day, that's consistent, that's passive, that's residual. That's when I'm sleeping, I'm making money, you know, so I got a thinker up here. Thank you for that question, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Please give Edo a round of applause.
Yes, that was great. Thank you so much. Pigment Magazine and Edo, and there's some people that still want to talk to you. So he'll be up. He said meet him by his art. You can chat it up with Edo. He's happy to. He's been here all weekend. You've been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Let's see who we got on the ones and twos next. Okay, DJ D-Ran, you up next. Come back. We will be Pigment Magazine. Miss Patricia will be back at what is the time? At 6 p.m. with Gary G.